The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum, assemble! You are watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. We hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case would be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. Yeah, the usual suspects in the building. First, we have our riddle. Inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
There it is. Next, he is our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He is our resident Dark Knight detective. He's the Oz.
I don't know how entertaining I'll be. I'm drinking coffee today.
Indeed.
And you're off to a good start.
Next, he's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
I didn't get ready. All right. I'm ready.
There it is. He's ready.
I actually did also have a head planned, but it didn't get it in time.
Good.
You had a what? I'm sorry. You had a what planned? I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button. What?
I got a latex head that I was going to use today.
You said you had a head plan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I wasn't listening to me.
I'm just saying. I'm like, and we were supposed to know what that meant. He's like, I also had a head plan.
Oh, don't you guys plan head?
I mean, ideally, like you know, like in a perfect world, it's like got it lined up ready. But you know, I'm just sitting here like, oh, I didn't know this about Jay.
What?
I always thought he was allergic to latex.
Oh, he is.
I don't think I am.
Strictly lambskin for Jay.
Yeah.
Strictly lambskin for Jay.
He impregnated all those whores on purpose then.
But I did get a head, and it was delivered today. But unfortunately, I got home after my mailroom closed.
I don't even know what to say.
I like how you go for the female room, but
listen, I'm just gonna say I'm Mary Young, and this is Fantastic Forum. I'm gonna say that just to get that out of the way, and then we can continue with wherever this conversation is gonna lead us. Probably to friggin' some sort of banning, like what's below demonetization?
We owe them money.
Like, right? Do we have to give YouTube money to continue doing the show? They're like, listen,
we have to apologize, give money, and then go to find Jesus.
It's like YouTube reparations.
Yeah.
They're like, listen, you can do the show, but we're gonna need $12.95 every month. Like, wait, what? What? We gotta pay you money to do the show? Damn. Because Jay decided to get head.
I know exactly where to find Jesus. He's in prison. Everybody I know that's ever been to prison finds Jesus. Obviously, dude is hanging out over there.
Yeah.
Number one celly, Jesus. Yeah. That makes sense. Jesus does that. Anyway,
he goes where men drop the soap.
No, he goes where people are at the lowest point and helps them.
Oh, I mean, he did like hanging out with 12 dudes.
I don't.
And he had long hair.
Are you trying to make Jesus gay? Is that what's happening? Like, I mean, you can do that. That's okay.
Fluid.
I'm just
fluid and black.
Jesus is black and gender fluid. Wow. So many Christians are mad at you right now. Again, welcome to Fantastic Four.
They have
I'm
to
used to
forgive.
it.
Despite everything that's happened before this point, we have a great show for you today. Because we're going to be talking to you all about The Batman, the newest movie inside of the DC universe, or I don't know if you want to call it DC Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Exactly. I don't know. The latest movie from Warner Brothers with a DC character in it. There we go. Can't go. Oh, jeez. Wow. There we go. Not only that, we're going to also be talking to you all about the comic book series Dark Knights of Steel, which is a limited series. And yeah, we're going to be talking about that as well. So we got a lot of Batman going on in today's show, a lot of DC going on in today's show, and it's going to be a good time. But before we do all that, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, the show wouldn't exist. So we want to make sure we thank Scott. Hey, there we go. Look, Scott Rubin, social construct, barely a real thing. Everyone knows that about Scott Rubin. It's like, you look, metaverse, Scott Rubin, same thing. You know, is it real? Is it not real? Who knows? Who knows? Listen,
You gotta have faith.
you got there it is. Sometimes you just got to drop the soap next to Jesus. Wait, what?
Dang, Larry, bad. Larry,
What
come on.
happened? Whoa.
Yeah, I
Dang,
saw
Jay.
him more as the prison counselor, but you straight up put him in the shower.
Yeah,
Jay, pull up, Jay. Pull up.
Whoa.
What?
Look, let's head. What? Welcome to Fantastic Four.
Right when we're about to
Hey,
like
on the action,
remonetize.
call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
I need my juice.
I need you to not do that while I'm drinking, because I can't. If I ruin this computer, I don't have another one. We're done. Or I'm done. You all can do the show without me. I'll guess I have to go to Jay's house or Moses'
Don't
house.
you have the porn laptop?
No,
Jay
that's what
has the
I'm.
porn lit.
No, I have it.
No, I wish I
Oh.
had the porn laptop.
Yeah.
I'm
That would
saying
have been super useful
saying nobody's on the
fucking-
porn laptop right now, right?
3 weeks
I'm
ago.
on the porn laptop right now.
Oh,
I rescued it for Joe because he was gonna ruin it with all the porn.
In fact, I need that porn. The
The
new
Cut it out.
version-
Cut that clip. I need the porn. Someone cut that.
I'm saying Summertime Sagas probably had their new update. So if I had the porn computer, I could play that.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, but the porn computer is not for porn. It's for show stuff.
Yeah, I can stream my porn.
No, we need this computer. We need this computer to be clean and viable for editing videos and uploading shows and the archives.
No, it
What?
is clean. It's on Patreon. Like
Hey,
it's Patreon sanitized porn.
Yeah, look. Then if it's that sanitized, do it on your phone or computer.
I can't do my computer. It's bogged down with too many
unsanitized.
instruments.
Whoa.
You're
Too
a
many
freak,
latex
Jay.
heads.
You're a
No.
freak.
No, I have a lot of
Jay's
musical
all here,
ins-
bone chicka, wow, wow.
I have a lot of digital instruments.
Whoa! That's why the ladies love him,
I
and
got
some of the
11.
guys. A lot of digital instruments. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah, for
ladies?
digital
Yes.
penetration, manipulation. And,
Right.
I'm just saying these beats don't make themselves.
Whoa! If you're into that.
Sometimes you gotta beat them.
Want to get in on
Long-
the call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. Join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
At this point, I feel like interns harassing me. At this point, I didn't even realize all the innuendo in what she says. I'm like, wait a minute.
Until Joe's digital manipulation.
Right. I'm a family man. Let me go home.
In chat.
Tiger Claw.
says,
Yeah,
what's
Tiger
up,
Claw's in chat.
What do you thought of that Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer? I thought he was going to ask about Batman, but yeah, I guess he's
Well, listen, there's another comment. Don't worry, we can get to that one in a minute. Like, what did you all?
There's like a 1.5-minute preview up on Disney's, I think, Instagram.
I mean, it's the trailer, right? Or is it something different than the trailer?
Something different than the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The first 1.5 minutes or something.
Oh, what was that like?
I didn't watch it yet. I was told about it at work.
Is the Mandalorian going to show up and make that show good too?
No.
Wow.
No, the Grand Commander is...
The Grand Commander?
You're talking about his name.
You're talking Thrawn?
No, not Thrawn.
The Grand Inquisitor.
Yes, that's what I meant to say.
I was like, the Grand Commander? I was like, who is that? Now, listen, first of all,
you mean
all
David
of y'all are... No, that's the Grand Wizard. That's a different thing. That's a different thing. Look, the Inquisition, different thing. Grand Wizard, different thing. This is the Grand Inquisitor, which is two other things put together that sound shady, but when they come together, they're okay. Look. First of all, I'm gonna ask y'all not to to stop hating on Book of Boba Fett because y'all like that show, and you want to say you didn't like it before the Mandalorian showed up, but you did. You did. It was a good show.
It was
Oh, stop it. It was. Listen, if you want to say it was better when the Mandalorian showed up, I'm not mad at that. I agree with you. Those episodes were definitely some of my favorite episodes too.
How about I say this?
Let's that up too.
I didn't realize how much I didn't like Book of Boba Fett until Mandalorian showed up.
But this is the thing. You wanted the same show twice in a row. It's like if Book of Boba Fett was basically the Mandalorian with Boba Fett instead of friggin' Mando, the criticism would have been like, it's just like Book of Boba Fett. It's just like Mandalorian, except with Boba Fett. And that would have been what you all were saying then.
I'm past all that. I'm just mad that Grogu can't have friends.
Listen, that's the Jedi code.
Look, Luke fell out of the Cloud City, called his friends.
But Luke didn't have any holocrons then.
Luke celebrated in every movie at the end with his friends.
I'm not disagreeing with you. You're right. Luke was a bad Jedi.
Luke died and became a Force ghost and saved his friends.
Listen, Luke was a bad Jedi in the original trilogy.
Right.
And that's not his fault.
And the second
it's totally his fault.
Obviously,
that was not his fault. This one had bad teachers.
He didn't finish his training on purpose.
Because he was trying to help his friends.
If you leave now and don't do your training, you're gonna be stupid.
And he turned out all right. He turned out all right with having friends. Grogu can too. There's no reason Grogu can't have a chainmail and a lightsaber. That'd be badass.
In fact, by the time that Luke embraces the no friends, that's when he tries to kill his nephew.
And that's after Grogu.
I guess you're right. I guess that is after. No, wait, no. That is after Grogu. You're right. Yeah, that's after Grogu. You're right. However, I'm not sitting here telling you that Luke is perfect. And don't get me wrong. It's like I'm with you in the sense that in a perfect world, the Luke Skywalker we saw in the movies would be very much closer to what we saw in like the Legends Star Wars universe. Like that Luke Skywalker feels more akin to what Luke would be like after the original trilogy to me. Understand? Look, we all know that what happened with this new trilogy, it is what it is. But I'm not knocking. Like I do feel like the Luke Skywalker we see in Book of Boba Fett feels like the Luke we would have seen in the Legends, the Star Wars Legends stuff. Like that feels like the beginning.
Can have friends, but then has kids with Mara Jade.
Well, but Luke's not perfect. Like Luke is even in Legends, he's flawed.
It turns out poor Grogu's gonna go to the dark side because they're on that do as I say, not as I do bullshit.
No, Grogu's not gonna go to the dark side. You know why? Because he has friends.
I mean, that's the path to the dark side, right? That's
Yeah,
why you're not supposed to have friends if you're a Jedi.
Grogu's gonna be the best gray Jedi because he's probably gonna go end up hanging out with friggin' Ahsoka Tano, and it's gonna be awesome for them.
I would say he would go hang out with the Outlander, but that turned out to be Boba Fett.
Well, there you go. So, I don't know what to tell you, man. But what I will say is this: the Kenobi joint looks pretty cool. Even though the Grand Inquisitor kind of looks weird in real life.
Is he too cute?
He's not too cute. It's just like, you know how people were like, oh, they changed Ahsoka Tano for the real life version of her, and like they made alterations that make her look different than what she looked like in the animated stuff. And some people were like, why? Like, why couldn't you just make her look like what she looks like animated? And people were like, it turns out when you have something animated and you try to make it practical, there's some things that just don't work from a practical perspective, like in real life. And so you have to alter it a little bit. And
that style too. The style that they did, that 3D sculpting style, where because Anakin didn't look like Anakin a lot. His face was a little more round.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And so it's like there were some changes made for Ahsoka Tano. And I know ultimately for me, it's like I didn't look at her and think like, oh, she looks so much different. But when I saw the side by side, I was like, oh yeah, no, they did make some changes. But as soon as I saw the Inquisitor, I was like, oh, like they definitely made some changes with this fool. And a part of it might just be like the actor they chose. Like the actor's face is different than the of course the animated. Like the animated Inquisitor has like a really like animated long kind of face thing. And if I was a better producer, I would have had like both of those for the side by side so you could see it, but I didn't. So forgive me. But if you've seen like Clone Wars and friggin' actually it's not in Clone Wars, it's in what? Damn it. Which Star Wars animated show is that in? Huh?
Rebels?
Yeah, it's in Rebels, right? Yeah, Rebels. Yeah. If you've seen Rebels and you saw the trailer, you know what I'm talking about. Like the tattoos on his face are a little bit smaller and the shape of the face is different, and it's like it has a little bit like I feel people are gonna be like, what is this? And don't get me wrong, like it's not like you don't know who he is. You look at him, you know exactly who he is. But it's different.
It's the guy from I Come in Peace.
I don't even know who that, like I couldn't tell you who the actor was. Like he doesn't look like anybody that I would recognize, even though I'm sure that I probably know the person. But he looks like the Inquisitor, but he looks like an altered version of the Inquisitor. And so I know people are going to be like, nah. Well, not nah, but they're going to be like, why? That's what they're going to be like. This is in the same way they did Ahsoka. But at the end of the day, the dude he seems like he's going to be a good Inquisitor. So, that's cool. That's cool. I don't know. What look, Mo, you didn't watch the trailer, right?
No.
Okay. Oz, you saw it?
Nah.
Damn. What? Look.
Oh, it's that guy?
That's Malfoy. Is it Malfoy that is playing the Inquisitor?
No.
Yeah. No, not Malfoy. Malfoy's
no,
there.
That's the guy from is that? Oh, never mind. It's not.
They all look. Malfoy's dad is also a Malfoy.
I know the Malfoy you were talking about, and that's the wrong Malfoy.
Listen, I'm talking about the Malfoy I'm looking at.
I don't think you.
So I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know that's the same dude that's playing the Inquisitor. Who put that up? Was that Jay or Moses?
What?
Never mind. We're off the rails on Holy Beelzebub. We're off the rails. Mo, you put that up?
Yeah.
And so is that dude that's playing the Inquisitor?
Yeah. But I don't know what a Malfoy is. When I saw the thumbnail, I thought it was the dude from that movie I Come in Peace.
He also did the voice.
Shut up. It's the same actor that did the voice in the show?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was him. Well, that makes it even more awesome. Because I was sitting here like watching the trailer, like, oh, that dude is spot on. And that makes sense because if he's playing him like the voice actor, then he knows the character. I'm just like, well, damn, why didn't they make his tattoos a little bigger? This one don't have he has enough forehead.
But I guess the roundness of the head will make it look weird if the tattoos are bigger.
Maybe. Listen, all I know is they look smaller than they probably should be. And I was like, oh, I know this. But it wasn't enough for me to be like, no, I'm out. It was just like, oh, I wonder why they did it like that. And, you know, you very well might be right. Like, they're like, we try to make it bigger and it looked crazy. And so we didn't do that anymore. But if it's the same guy that's playing the character that did the animated series, and for me, that's a win. Because that's kind of like 9 times out of 10, that's what I want. Except for when it's Kevin Conroy. Because Kevin Conroy has no business actually being Bruce Wayne or Batman because he doesn't look like either one. Not even old.
Yeah, I double checked. Yeah, he's the guy from Rebels.
Nice. That's cool. That's very cool. I didn't know that. And yeah, he's an amazing actor. Like, that dude is great. So yeah, but I'll take Jay, you watched the trailer?
Yes.
And it looked good to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jay and I are in. So we don't care what the rest of y'all think.
I mean,
I still need to watch Boba Fett though, so
Jay.
You really
I'm
only
busy.
you only need to watch like after
episode 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah. Don't Jay,
You
don't listen to them.
realize Diabolical just came out, right?
Yeah.
So
Jay,
it's like,
what does Diabolical just coming out have to do with Book of Boba Fett that's been out for months?
I'm saying before Diabolical, it was something else. I don't know. Stuff keeps coming out.
clearly important.
You're right.
Like
Immemorable stuff.
Vox Machina.
Joe,
that's
Vox
definitely-
Machina.
No,
Really?
He's right.
Vox Machina is the cultural friggin' phenomenon that's sweeping the nation.
Did you watch it?
I'll be honest. I mean, it got me to buy a book, so it's doing its job.
Meh.
And it has a foreword by Gail Simone.
You didn't ask for a T-shirt.
Did I want a T-shirt?
No.
You need it for the wardrobe for the show.
No, he don't want a Vox Machina T-shirt. It's not good enough.
I mean, I would still like to know the characters more, so I know which one to get.
He's
See,
a critter.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm not a critter yet, but I did start reading the book. Well, I read the foreword by Gail Simone.
Okay, Jay. All right. Got it. We get it. One day you'll get to Star Wars. We understand. He's like, I'm coming around to it.
I mean, I just started watching the other thing you wanted me to watch,
What's the other thing?
Firefly. I just started watching that, so it's like
It's just
I've got a lot on my plate.
Jay's like, I've been busy since the 90s.
I mean,
And
it's
that
a space
first 2
western.
minutes is like super chaotic. Like, how'd you guys get past that?
We sat there.
We watched it when it came out.
Right. It doesn't like we don't even know which 2 minutes. Like, you know what happens, like probably what the order of the episodes of streaming is completely different than what happened when it actually came out. So we don't even know which 2 minutes you're talking about.
Yeah, actually, the way they were aired, there's like episodes missing and they weren't in order.
Right.
You actually
So-
buy, like, a box
The
set.
one where he's in a war zone.
Okay. So that's like the streaming or the DVD actual first episode, which wasn't the first episodes that we saw,
Why not?
I think.
You
Because
got-
when it
you did it
aired,
wrong.
We didn't do it. We did it when the way they showed it to us, Jay. The way the studio wanted it.
Actually,
Which was wrong.
I watched it in the proper order through the DVDs.
Oh well, there you go.
Like,
although
it's not my fault you accepted the wrong way. In any case, I started fight. I'm gonna get to Boba Fett. Like, I'm gonna get there.
Okay,
it's just
Jay.
taking time.
You're right, Jay. Make sure you do all the stuff first before Star Wars. That makes sense.
I mean, while you're bullshitting, I'm like so behind on everything. Like, I just found out that the Entertainment District arc of Demon Slayer finished already, and I haven't watched that.
Jay's like
season 2 of Arifureta. Like, man, I'm behind.
And Attack on Titan too.
I need to get back into Attack on Titan.
In the YouTube chat, Xenocore01 says no call-in function. Y'all ducking me. There should, if you go to fantasticforum.live, there should be a call-in button. Larry, did you?
Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me make sure. Did I turn it on? I might not have turned it on. Hold on. I'm gonna turn it on. Bam, bam. There you go. Sorry, that's my bad. I was busy. I was like Jay. I was like out here, like no. The call-in functions have been turned on. Go for it. Jay's out here. Like, have y'all heard about this whole Star Trek thing?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with catching up on that.
He's like, I've been busy since the 60s. He's like, yeah, Jay, Star Trek. It's a new thing on the block. You should check into that, Jay. Star Trek.
Star Trek?
Exactly. Hey, look into it, man. You'll be surprised. They do some groundbreaking stuff. I mean, you know, it's no Star Wars, but
I mean, you say groundbreaking, and all I could think of is all the mini skirts from the first series. It's like, that's not groundbreaking, that's sexist.
In the 60s?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure that is groundbreaking.
The guys weren't wearing mini skirts.
It depends on which episodes you watch.
Yeah, when you get to the next generation, yeah, they're wearing full-on dresses.
No, I mean, what you call it? I think there was an ancient Roman emperor one where the guys did have dresses on.
There was the one where they were naked.
Yeah, but you don't see anything.
Yeah, but they're
or do you? How hard are you looking?
Well, now
dude,
they have.
You know me. Like,
they're showing.
It's all remastered.
Like, I'm always looking for nudity on TV.
They have latex head.
Not just on TV. Lambskin head. Anyway, caller, you are the 5th member of Fantastic Forum. Tell the people who you are and what you want to talk about.
Yo, it's Xenocore, the outside source. And I got the power of omniscience at the moment. I felt I wasn't even at my computer, and I felt y'all were broadcasting, so I had to come in and make sure that Mayor Young wasn't slacking on his duties to be watching all this media.
100% slacking.
All at once.
100% slacking. Look, I don't have enough screens to watch all the media all at once yet, Xenocore, and that's how you know I'm slacking. I appreciate you calling in. Talk to us, Zeno. What did you want to say? What did you hear that made you be like, where is my call-in button, you sons of bitches? And
how come you haven't finished mocking the Mayor Young? Because you know the rest of it's good.
You're right. like Jay said.
No. I to be fair, I missed the first 20 minutes. So if he came around and gave it a nod, then I can calm down, because he unintentionally dodged the best part of the series. He just watched the intro and forgot to get the hook in him. So that's all. So
Jay was 100% championing Vox Machina, and the rest of the forum was doing it beforehand as well, and like saying to me, like, "What? Why are you like this?" And I'm like, "Dude," and the running joke was like, supposedly I'm this hardcore Vox Machina fan, even though I didn't even realize it was like Critical Role at first. But either way, it's like
he was excited about all the trailers. Like, he in our pre-production text, like, I'm like, what is this? I don't know
what's really kind of intrigued me is how much of the way the community is supporting the show, because I've seen some YouTubers go ahead and edit down the show and show all the roles and spells and actions that were done during the show cut down to give people a clue as to what was going on in sort of shorthand. It's like every failed
like
roll,
the actual...
every critical, every spell cast. Yeah, all that.
Oh, so like the animated show really follows like the critical role stuff that closely that you can be like, this is that role or this moment in the game on the show?
With me basically being a book reader and having seen the entire thing in its entirety, right? To sum it up, was it 3 hours, 115 episodes? So almost 500 hours of improv theater squeezed down into what, 4.5 hours worth of animated footage? Or that's not accurate. That would be the entire thing. So it's like 90. It's like 30 episodes of the show. So that's 90 hours squeezed down into 4.5 hours. I'd say they did a pretty good job. Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy to me. Like, but I will tell you right now, there's no part of me that's ever going to go back and watch any of that 90 hours of Critical Role, because that, like, I'm sure it's an amazing kind of thing. And for those of you that have already watched it or want to go back and watch it, look, more power to you. I just know for me, I was just like, no, like I can take the digested version in this animated form, and that's good for me personally.
That's why you got a city council, right? So that way you can help manage all this stuff.
Indeed. There it is. There it is. Zeno gets it. That's why he's my main constituent. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I'm not how sure his constituency is. He's been up here for like what, 16 years or something like that. I'm sure he's lost some voters here and there, but you know what?
Well, hey, you can't please everybody.
You lose some each episode.
and it's good to hear that the Air Force and the Navy were working hand in hand this time too. So with Jay backing me up. So
just earlier,
there it is.
Jesus in the shower.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so as far as knowing the history, I wish all shows would be written this way. Like every show that's got like a central cast of characters, they should have one writer backing up each character and figure out the plot that way. I think all the shows would be that much better for it, instead of just coming with one writer for each episode, and it's all can potentially get disjointed. If you got all 7 writing each episode and just steering one character at a time, I think all of our shows would be that much better for it.
Wait. So are you saying that there's like a writer dedicated to each character in the show?
It's a live action tabletop role playing game, just like you were playing D&D. So everybody's got their own character they're driving, and the DM is basically the computer playing everybody else. And they're all experienced actors, so it's all just improv theater.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you from your perspective, you're basically saying like
each actor is a writer of the character. Yeah.
Got it. Oh,
so that way everything is completely independent. It's not all coming from one mind, so there's no chance of anybody having the same take each time with different characters. It eliminates all that because you're genuinely dealing with 7 people. So
that's how you love improv, Mayor. Like that should be right up your alley.
Y'all are in improv land out there, man. Out in California.
I mean, yeah, there are a lot of improv people here.
Yeah.
I don't like. I mean, yeah. But anyway, what were you gonna say, Mo?
No, that man, I forgot.
No, I'm sorry, friend.
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
cool. It's cool. It'll come back. Probably something about your dick or something.
Right. Makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
No,
lambskin.
Look, that's how I remembered your dick. Philip K. Dick. That's how he wrote Man on the High Castle, because he just had his characters and he rolled a dice for each one to see what path they would take, and basically the whole series just spawned off, and that's how he kind of did his theory was by
really
dice. Yeah,
that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, because that means that you're not having to figure how do I tie this together, the dice are driving the story and you're just filling it in as you go. So that makes a lot of sense.
The dice he used were these like fortune telling Chinese dice that are actually cylindrical, and they just have like stripes on each side instead of dots. Like it's weird. Like you just roll them like that.
Oh yeah, you can buy dice that are meant to be rolled by rolling them out of your palm. So it's just how many sides you got for the type of dice. You got. So, yeah.
Wow,
hell, there's a whole I forget who makes it, but there's a adventure book for, it's kind of vanilla as far as role playing because it's pseudo rules, but it's basically an algorithm. Say you come up with your own character, you're just following it along like a twist a plot book. It says you came across this character, roll this to figure out if they're a friend or foe and take appropriate action, that kind of thing. So somebody who's really bored and has no friends can play D&D all by themselves.
That sounds like me.
Damn, that's sad. Yeah,
it's interesting because I know that here on Fantastic Forum we've had the discussion about the possibility of having like comic books written by committee to a degree, and I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that was a conversation that actually kind of spawned from another conversation we were having with Jeffrey from Jeffrey's Comics, because he had also mentioned that too, where it's like, hey, there's like different writers that are good at different things. And so it's like, what if you had, like, say for instance, like a story where the concept was like by Jonathan Hickman, because Jonathan Hickman has like all these high-minded concepts, but then all the dialogue was written by like Brian Michael Bendis, because Brian Michael Bendis like loves to have those like intimate kind of character moments, you know what I'm saying? And then maybe somebody else that like writes the action of it, and it's like, okay, like, would that be a better comic in general, because you kind of have like 3 or 4 writers that are all playing to their particular strengths in regards to like the story. And so like when you get down to it, it's kind of like, okay, you have like everybody that's like doing what they do best in regards to the story, and it comes together. Now, at the end of the day, like, technically we've never, you have comics that have multiple writers, but at the end of the day, you're really only talking about maybe at most 2 people, right? Like, we've never had like, or at least, well, I should say never had, but when you have multiple comic book writers on something, it's usually an anthology. It's not like, one story written by 4 people. So, so it would be interesting to see if that was something that would, like, how something like that would turn out. But, we haven't
not
had
to
it
mention,
yet.
Because all this was done improv, what they got to do is do cleanup on their own work on a second pass.
Right.
With this. So, I mean, the show's hitting like a damn sledgehammer. And I think that just the fact that it was written the way it was, with people that were competent in acting, and then on top of that, it got a second pass in the writing room, basically, to clean up some stuff, add some stuff. One character wasn't even there for half the stuff, and they added her back in with a side plot that made a lot of sense. It came back to it. So it worked out really well. So,
well, I will say that, I still got to watch more of it. I know for me personally, like, I wasn't as impressed with the first like couple episodes as I was with the ones that ended up following up, because
you don't have to watch more of it. You just have to watch all of it. That's it. Just watch all of it.
No, and I should get to it, and I will, because I like, once I got past, like, I think I don't remember if it was episode 3 or 4, but once I got to episode 3 or 4, I was like, oh, this is
the first plot starts in episode 3.
Right. Okay. So I think that's what it was. Like,
the first one is
is
a warm up. Like, this is what they can do.
Yeah.
This is what happens when they get together. This is what happens when the A-team forms, and then problem number 1, and then
Yeah. And so I agree. I'm not.
I remember
discounting.
Your major complaint was you didn't know enough about these characters. Well, if you keep watching, the show becomes more around one of the characters, and you're finding out his history.
It gets really good around episode 36, Mario. So.
You're hilarious. No, I mean, I've watched at least 3, 4. I don't know. I watched at least. Actually, I watched at least.
If you watch the third one and liked it, you're hooked. You'll watch all 12.
Yeah. No, I agree, and I agree. I just have to get to the rest of them, because I think I watched 5 of them. I think, and there's what, 8 or 9?
12.
12. Oh, well. So I got a lot more to go.
Yeah.
I got a lot more to go. So yeah, but I'll mess around and get to the rest of it, because it was good. It definitely got better. And it wasn't bad to begin with. It was just like,
it was going fast.
Well, I feel like the first couple episodes were for people that already were down with it. And I felt like it was like, it almost did the opposite of what, in my opinion, it did the opposite of what, like, say, for instance, Arcane did, the League of Legends joint. Like, I feel like Arcane gave you a lot of character development in those first couple episodes because I think they're like, hey, we understand people may come to this and they don't know jack about League of Legends, so let you care about these people that you're seeing on the screen. And I feel like Vox Machina almost did the opposite, where they're like, you know these characters, so we're gonna kind of like give you like a little bit of like adventure first, and then we'll dive deeper into the characters after the fact. And I'm just like, I don't know these characters. And
it almost makes me wish
the minority.
It almost makes me wish Fred Perry didn't write so much pop culture into his stuff so we can see his stuff animated, because he's got way too much stuff that just gets a little close to intellectual property here, there, everywhere. So it's like, ooh.
I would watch some of that. That would be
man.
Yeah,
he can't just do it all himself, man. He needs to get a team and a Kickstarter and get some money behind him, and then not do all the art himself.
No, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go. So, listen, we got a whole bunch of show that we're supposed to get to. Look,
no, that's all. I just make sure you got that in there, man. Because
Zeno, did you watch the Batman?
I have not seen it yet. It's not in my theater as of yet, or is it just online? And did they do that shit again?
No, it's only in theaters.
Only in theaters.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm in a small town.
What town are you in, Zeno?
I'm in Vero Beach, Florida. So lots of old folks here. That one's not getting top billing here. I got to go to like Melbourne or Orlando or something like that to see that, most likely.
So what if you wanted to go to the movie last week, what movie would have been showing?
Jeez, it's
Marry Me?
Dog.
A lot of
Studio 666,
like second string movies that just came out. Like the stuff that's just been sitting in the movie theater, probably because this movie theater is small, doesn't want to get fleeced by the first week, like the studio sucking up all the money in the first week, so they probably just ran the other movies, because not everything gets running in every single theater in America. So,
of course. Yeah, no.
My town is small enough and got enough old people running the town that nothing extravagant really happens here quickly.
So what makes you decide to stay there, Zeno?
Money and bills.
That's fair, buddy.
Yeah, I
I'm
grew
not
up
mad
here,
at
so
you.
I'm stuck. I've
left you grew up in Vero?
I've left this place 4 times, and it sucks me in like a black hole, man.
Well, listen, I think we have to have we should think about having our first Fantastic Forum con in Vero Beach, Florida.
Look, we might be the right age for it.
Absolutely.
If you could do it all, if you could use a theater to do it, there's a theater big enough to do it, like the Riverside Theater, but it's a conventional theater, so you just have that one area on the stage, and that's it. But it'll have a lot of bodies for a convention. So there you go.
FF-A-Con.
Yeah. You know what? Keep the name the same. It's close enough to innuendo that it works.
Lambskin of
You might get a lot of old swingers show up all of a sudden, misreading the title, but whatever.
Not necessarily.
All of FF-A-Con.
Yeah.
Well, hey, so, we appreciate you calling in, man. It's always good to see you. It's good, and I appreciate you being on camera and coming in and talk to us.
Yeah, this is the first time you saw my bald head and everything. So yeah,
it's been a long time. I
always told Mo, it's like, I come out, man, but you charge me $4 just for walking in the door. So
Well, hopefully next time, you can come on camera again and talk to us about whatever else it is. And feel free, for the rest of the show, if there's something you hear and you will have some comments on it, jump back in, buddy.
All right, man. Take it easy, guys.
Take it easy. Good stuff. Xenocore, classic, Fantastic Forum, or classic friend of the forum, classic all gamer. Appreciate you. So okay. Should we go ahead and get down with the Batman conversation?
You want to do Batman or you want to do the comic?
Either or. What do y'all want to do?
Roll the dice.
Roll the dice, Jay. Roll the dice.
Let me get a number. Let me get a dice generator.
We'll do the movie.
Comic book theater.
shout out to Tiger Claw for theater. Because it always brings a smile to my face when I hear theater.
he's been sitting there angry because top of the show he mentioned the movie and just been waiting and waiting.
Oh, put that comment in chat. Tiger Claw in chat with the friggin' Matt Reeves comment. Let's do it. No, I got it. Bam. Oh, what's that?
What? Wow.
Jay with the dice roller. Really? Wait, why
We got a 4.
What does that mean?
Oh, that's exactly what the movie
that means the Batman. To the movie. Good job, Jay.
Is that what we're giving it? Is that how we do reviews now? We just roll the dice. Oh, this movie was a 3.
Yeah. So Tiger Claw in chat says with the Batman, Matt Reeves is going to have to direct the Superman, the Green Lantern, the Wonder Twins, and then the Justice League. Yes, Tiger Claw, you're right.
I hope not.
Matt Reeves. No, look, everyone knows that whatever Tiger Claw says is what actually happens. So that's
look,
it.
we just got done talking about doing the comics by committee. Like that's the thing. You get the right people to do the right thing. You know?
Right. Tiger Claw is the one that decides what movies come next.
That's why we're having this DCEU movie here, because the other DCU movie was done by one dude and it sucked.
Wow. Are you talking about the God director, Zack Snyder? Is that what you're talking about? Like friggin' film made flesh? Is that who you're talking about?
Zack who?
Look, don't do that. Don't mess around and say that Zack Snyder is not the best director that's ever existed in the history of friggin' celluloid. Don't do that.
Celluloid. They stopped using that 10 years ago.
No. Celluloid.
Zack Snyder still uses it. That's how authentic he is.
Exactly. Now look, old fake ass movie fan. He wants to see his movies on digital. What are you, friggin' Joss Whedon? That's who you are.
Hey, look,
harassing women and touching children.
Ladies call me. Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon. Friggin' enemy of everything.
Yeah. Boogeyman of women.
Look. Look. Mr. Friggin'. Well, never mind. I'm done. Okay. I was about to go too far.
It's like he's gonna team up with Bryan Singer and be like the terror. Like Jordan Peele's gonna make a movie about Joss Whedon and Bryan Singer teaming up, and they're all being puppeted by Harvey Weinstein.
There it is.
And Bill Cosby will be the Sandman.
Listen, I believe that 100% alone. Let's talk about the Batman. Latest movie from Warner Brothers / DC. Matt Reeves directed, stars friggin' Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz and I don't remember the name of my man that's the Riddler. What's his name? Anybody know?
Oh, Paul Dano.
Thank you. I'm assuming that's correct.
Yeah, because it's the original singer of Iron Maiden. They'll name that too.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, there you go.
That's my demonic device.
It's Robert Pattinson, of course, like debut as the Dark Knight, and so it's like it's a different take on Batman, and I will tell you, I'm very interested to find out what everyone's take on the forum is. Like, I mean, honestly, like, it's interesting because I'm sitting here like, I'm not exactly 100% sure how to do this because I don't know if I want, like, normally I would just go around and be like, hey, what's your initial take? But I don't know if I want everyone's initial take as much as maybe, like, there's a part of me that kind of feels like I almost want to hear how you all felt about this, like, character by character, you know, because there's a part of this movie is about like I feel like all the casting, especially, and you know, and this is the thing, like, it has a cast that is on its face, 100% like fantastic. Like everybody that's cast in this movie can act. But how you feel about these individuals as the individual characters might differ depending. You know what I mean? Like it's not like you can act and not necessarily be right for the role, right? So I almost kind of want to go like that. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do like real quick. Let me ask you this off the top. What did you all feel about Pattinson as Batman, and how'd you feel about him as Bruce Wayne? Jay, go.
I thought his Batman was. I did have a couple of issues with the Batman, but I'm not sure if it's him or if it's the writer.
Okay.
I think it is the writer, but he was fine, I guess, as Batman. But some of his lines were bad, so I guess that is the writing. And I always kind of have an issue where Batman, like when they show Batman like walking through bullets, it always kind of bugs me a little bit. So,
okay.
But I don't think that's his fault either.
How'd you feel about him as Bruce Wayne?
I like this Bruce. Like it was weird, but I think that's on purpose.
You know, I understand your point about having a problem with Batman walking through bullets, even though they try to make it seem like that's what the armor was for. But this was the first time that I can remember anyway, where Batman's getting shot at and he puts his hand up. Oh, I punched my mic. He puts his hand up to block like the one area where he should not get shot because he'll die.
Yeah,
and he did that multiple times. He may have done it in other movies, but it's the first time that I can remember as I was watching it of him doing that.
So Oz, look, what did you think of Pattinson as Batman and as Bruce Wayne?
I think he was fine. He looked good in the costume. The costume did a lot of the work as far as the Batman side. Bruce Wayne, a little emo-ish. It bugged me that he lost his Batman voice every once in a while. Like I don't know if he switched back and forth, or maybe just I just hear the same voice, whether he's being Batman or Bruce Wayne. There's times where obviously he was doing it, and then there's times where like you kind of have to like really. Yeah. So it's little things like that. I think I got spoiled by the voice changer in the Batfleck.
Gotcha.
For some reason, I really like that.
How'd you feel about his voice? Bruce Wayne?
A little emo. More. It's not really his performance that I have a problem with. It's the direction of the movie. Like we said last week, somebody commented it's a 3-hour movie that only feels like 2. And there's some stuff that like I don't need Bruce Wayne staring at that kid for that long. Over a lot. Like it seemed like every other scene, there's Bruce Wayne staring at that kid. And if that kid ain't Dick Grayson, he don't need to be staring at him like that.
Wow.
Bruce Wayne look lovingly at Dick.
He might be getting the idea. Like that's the influence that you know what? The next kid that happens to, I might take under my wing. I could do something.
There it is.
Well, that kid did still have a mom, so
that's So it's,
okay. All right, I feel a little better about it. Then all right. Yeah. He's just planning his future Dick.
Yeah. Whoa.
Planting the seeds of Dick.
Whoa. Moses Magnum. How did you feel about Pattinson's Batman and his Bruce Wayne?
Look, the Batman, I liked it. It's year 2. And it feels like it. Like, and here's the thing: this movie, we're not there yet. Okay, the Batman thing was good. The walking through bullets was fine. You could see like you got depending on the caliber, it make him take a step back or knock him on his ass, and that's what armor does, more or less. Not that I've ever been in armor aside from this thing, but
vengeance.
But that's how they show it on screen, and
right.
His Bruce Wayne, like for me, that's the perfect way to show a year 2 Bruce Wayne, where he's more natural as Batman, and he has to learn how to be Bruce Wayne in public, the billionaire playboy type thing. But we're not there yet again. But I will say this: this movie is basically going with the type of story of the Telltale game, which Bruce Wayne is not somebody that's looked at as like a godsend to Gotham, and so he's not going to be the happy dude enjoying his money in this universe, so it's fine with what they did, and it'll work with it, and I can't see anything, and so the way they did that Bruce Wayne is fine, even if they did eventually he does become the fun guy, like the like it looks like the year one Bruce Wayne to Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne, eventually he's in the fountain with 3 girls once he gets used to being Bruce Wayne. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will say that personally, like I was actually shocked by how much I liked Pattinson's Batman. Like I was personally like, it felt very right to me. And his Batman, I was like, wow, like he's making this happen. I will say that the Bruce Wayne, I was definitely not a fan of. I know Jay said it was like it felt a little emo to him. It felt a lot emo to me, and I get it.
Batman's
like
emo.
I think. Say again.
Batman's emo.
I mean, no, I'm not saying that he's not emo. What I will say is, I like the interpretation of Batman / Bruce Wayne, where Batman is his real persona and Bruce Wayne is the mask. And that's where you get like the billionaire playboy kind of thing. Like that makes a lot of sense to me. And I feel what you were saying, Mo, where you're like, it kind of feels like he eventually morphs into what, or at least I don't know if I was misunderstanding you, but what it sounded like you said to me was like, this felt like what he was like before he becomes the Christian Bale version of Bruce Wayne.
Right.
That is like, yeah, okay. And so
like, I always felt that Batman had to learn to be Bruce Wayne in public for the functions, the charity functions, and these events, like because that is his mask,
right. And I agree with that.
Year one story, like this weird, awkward Bruce Wayne fits for a little bit. Yeah.
See, but I guess I kind of feel like by year 2, he needs to be able to do that already. It's like
he also didn't go to no parties. He went to a funeral. Yeah.
But even at a funeral though, it's like a high profile funeral. So but anyway, go ahead, Jay. What do you say?
Someone said this, and I don't remember who, so I cannot credit them. But there's basically an event towards the end of the movie, which we're not spoiling it here, but they're basically saying that event that happens at the end of the movie is what convinces him that he needs a Bruce Wayne persona. And I thought that was kind of cleverish.
Yeah, but I guess my thing is this. Like, if he's Batman long enough for there to be a bat signal, if Bruce Wayne isn't doing the billionaire playboy kind of act,
that's where you're mistaken already.
Yeah.
How am I
He's
mistaken?
not Batman. He's vengeance.
Oh, see what you did?
There's only one person that calls him Batman in that whole movie.
Yeah.
And
wait, what?
There's only one person that actually refers to him as Batman.
That's
Riddler in his cards.
Okay, but
everybody
so
else
what?
calls him vengeance. Like, hey, vengeance, how's it going?
Alfred says like he's not doing any of the Bruce Wayne things. Like he doesn't do any of it.
But what I'm saying is, at some point, somebody's going to put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
And don't get me wrong, I will say this. One thing that leads people, or at least that we would think would lead people to the idea like Bruce Wayne is Batman, is all the high tech stuff. And in this movie, his stuff isn't that high tech. It's a little lower tech.
In fact, he didn't even have a bat signal. It's a V. Like I noticed that it's just.
Oh, come on, man! Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you're right. Like, the symbol is not the best part of this movie. if that's the commentary you're making, I'm with you. However, what I'm saying is there are only so many people in Gotham that can be Batman, and even with this low tech Batman, I feel like at some point, because of how Bruce Wayne acts, people might be like, you know what? Maybe it's the rich guy whose parents got killed.
Yeah,
because he's so sullen.
Yeah, but if he's not really out in public, it's like he's mostly keeping to himself. He's like a recluse almost. Yeah. And so he wouldn't have had to, like, if people are leaving him alone, he's leaving people alone for the most part. Not even showing up at like Wayne Tech meetings. Like, I don't think it's obvious to go there. Like,
that might be true.
A natural leap from, this rich guy's parents were killed, and then a vigilante shows up. Like, you wouldn't really make that connection.
And that's
why the event at the end, convincing him to like put on the persona of Bruce Wayne, makes sense, I think.
Okay, that's fair. So let me ask you this,
quick.
Oh,
unless you
have. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Tiger Claw in chat says, I like the Batman. I thought it was really good. However, one thing that has been bothering me was the notion that the Batman movies need to be grounded. Batman is anything but grounded, and it has quite the rogues gallery that leans heavily on metahumans. So I hope for sequels we get to see other characters like Clayface, which I think they could explore the body horror aspect of that. Now, I will say, I was going to wait until you asked us our opinions about Penguin, but I felt that while watching the movie. It's like, I don't necessarily need everything to be grounded. Like, I would have loved to see an umbrella shotgun or an umbrella machine gun. Like, I think we can all agree that Tim Burton went like super too far with the giant rubber ducky, but
or did he?
No, he did. But like bringing in some of the aspects of the comics, like the umbrella guns, I think would work. I think could work. And that's the one thing I dislike about going like super grounded.
Well, the thing is, you can build up to it. Because as his tech builds up, if they decide to go that way, they could get less grounded. Keep Batman more or less grounded, except with more newer tech. But then the villains, like there could be a raid of an armory or something once Wayne Tech gets the military contracts and shit, and now these weapons are on the street and they start, somebody like one villain that's also an engineer decides to, retroactively engineer it and start dealing super, you can get the Firefly and
it could happen,
all that,
but I want it now.
Yeah, I mean,
like Penguin without the umbrella. I'm not gonna say that it's like, oh, that's the only thing about him, but it is pretty signature.
Right, but I will say this, like it does feel like everyone in this movie, with the exception of maybe Batman, is kind of like a proto version of what they will become. Like even Riddler, like you don't think so? What do you okay, I see you shaking your head, Jay. How do you disagree?
Because this Riddler was someone else.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, I'll give you that.
I don't know who he was. Like maybe Clue Master or
no, he's like half like he's like a quarter Riddler and like half Hush and
Yeah,
like a little.
Phantasm.
Yeah. Like he's definitely like it's there's definitely other influences
And
and
that's where like
only a little bit of it is Riddler.
and that's where it really like this movie is something I didn't like was that it's essentially an adaptation of the Telltale game, because it's like, they basically turned Penguin into Tommy Elliot, and in this case they kind of gave him the side by side growing up parallel to with Riddler and Batman. They kind of did that, and I'm sure they're probably gonna bring like, because that journalist that got killed was his last name was Elliot, so I'm sure his kid's gonna want vengeance as well.
Vengeance.
And
And there's definitely a Long Halloween influence in there as well too.
oh yeah, and
Yeah.
like Batman Ego, there's that too, and all
I
of
didn't read Ego.
because you're a piece of shit. That's why.
That's exactly why.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking that when I said it, I was like,
The
I'm a
single
piece of
greatest
shit.
Batman book ever.
Is it really?
Yeah, yeah. And
Sheesh.
Is it better than Dark City?
yeah, it's Batman fighting himself, fighting his ego, fighting his psychology.
So not better than Dark City.
Yeah, it's better.
Caller, you are the fourth member of Fantastic Forum. Please tell the people who you are, where you're calling from, and what you think of the Batman.
Hi guys, I didn't think you could actually hear me. I didn't hit any buttons that just magically appeared.
Indeed, no, we got you. We got you.
First of all, I had to call in because I needed to say Tiger Claw is an idiot. He won't be happy until he sees Batman flying around in a chair, getting all the answers to all the questions immediately, because that's what he wants. That's what it sounds like he wants. And Batman's Rose Gallery, I don't know why that word popped up. I don't know why that is a thing in comics now where people keep saying the word Rogues Gallery. It's bad guys. They're villains. They're villains. Just say bad guys. Don't say Rogues Gallery. Try to make it sound like it's some kind of literary thing. So trying to elevate it higher than it is. They're a bunch of bad guys. They're not metahumans or supervillains, as they say. They never
That's
were.
true.
He named the one guy that could maybe be
Right.
a supervillain, but that's only because he had magic cream on his face or something. I don't know, but most of them are just crazy people. That's why Arkham Asylum.
You're
is
right.
So
You're right.
the story actually is Batman going around beating up a bunch of crazy people, which is anybody can do that. I go down to Hollywood Boulevard and start beating up on crazy people.
It's an allegory for the way this country treats mental health.
Yeah.
The rich fucking beat the shit out of the crazies.
And he doesn't want them. He doesn't want them
Bringing
cured
down the real estate value
anymore. He wants to keep them crazy because that's that. Now it's okay having to beat them up. It's disgusting. The Christopher Nolan started the whole grounding Batman thing by telling people where the Batmobile came from and where the Batarangs came from, some company in China built all of them or whatever. And I don't even know, like, if the Penguin, you guys understand that you need to see the Penguin's machine gun. Who would build Penguin's machine gun umbrella? Who's that guy? Sitting in the back of a shop somewhere.
And that's the point. You don't have to. He just has it. You just want to see it. You don't care where it came from.
Yes,
that's
you
do. No, you don't. And that's part of like that's
Oz does.
And that's part of why this movie was great too, because it's like, you look at things in comics like lighting. Sometimes the colors aren't like, that's not what that color would look like there, but that page looks fucking awesome, And this movie did that shit a lot too, where it's like, why is everything red and blue?
You're the one most always complains that this character's costume was the wrong color. It's the wrong shade of blue.
Right.
Like, who cares?
Well, that's the thing. This felt like reading 6 comic books.
Also, I just want to say that I have not seen this movie yet. So
yeah,
there was nothing in this movie that made me want to see it. I've seen enough Please tell me one thing. If this will decide if I go see it or not. Do they show me Bruce Wayne's parents getting killed?
No.
No.
I don't need to see this then.
Yeah, well, look,
why do you want to see that again?
Not only that, this gives you a reason why they were targeted.
I don't care.
Wait, why do you want to see it again?
I want to see his parents. I don't like the Waynes. The Waynes are oligarchs. I like their prime by a lonely gunman in the back of an alley. Why were they in an alley anyway?
Well, here's the thing: in this movie, it was a hit, and it's because they're rich oligarchs.
Good.
I will say, I think Teen Titans Go did that best, so I don't actually need to see it anymore either.
Teen Titans Go did the death of the Waynes best.
Yeah,
they got hit with a magic sandwich.
Basically they sent them. The Teen Titans sent the Waynes into the alley to get murdered.
Why
they purposely did it?
Why is that the best version?
Because it's just dark. Like, I love how dark it is. Like, they even ripped the chick's necklace before they shoved her into the alley to get murdered. Like I love that. It's so dark.
I've been trying to go back and catch up on some of my superhero movies by going watch stuff on HBO Prime. I've saw some of the Batman stuff there. I went over to Disney because I thought that the Daredevil stuff was going to be there. It's not. I ended up on Hulu, not Hulu, but no, Batman's on Hulu right now. The original Batman's on Hulu, and over on Netflix they have something called Guardians of Justice, which is the.
I heard about that.
You did not hear about it because it's a piece of crap.
I did hear about it. I promise you.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Like, so bad that you need to watch it.
It's got Diamond Dallas Page in there as Batman. It's crazy. It is
like my people were like, dude, have you heard of this? You need to watch this because it's so weird.
Is it like one of those porn parodies without the fucking? Is it
basically?
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like.
Basically.
I think it was done by the guy that did the Punisher Spare Change short a few years ago.
Oh, that guy.
But the thing is, just because that proves that those people that did those shorts don't ever give them money to do a whole movie because they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They're good doing 3-minute shorts, ultra violent shorts because give this man the whole money to make a whole thing. Some Netflix give everybody money for some reason. They gave this guy the money to do, and he made the worst piece of crap. It's 20 minutes an episode. I barely got past one. I can't get into. I can't bring myself to press the play on number 2. So I don't got enough to say.
Damn, we might need to talk about that week after next. It's okay, Mo. Don't worry, we got you.
They had one about supervillains. They had a supervillain cartoon one a few months ago, which is it was like an anime version of supervillains, and it was actually pretty good. It showed that the good guys are not all good; they're all just in it for the money, and the bad guys are just trying to get through day to day, and they have their own problems and everything. And the heist is not as easy as you think it is when there's superheroes around, and just I don't know. That was good.
Let me say this to you, Derek H. Going back to the Batman.
I'm not seeing that movie.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Can I finish? Can I finish? Can I finish?
I'll watch Amazon Prime.
Listen, you're gonna watch on Amazon Prime. That's
I might watch it on Peacock. I might wait till
I will tell you this. Personally, I feel like, and we can see what other people think about this after I say it. But personally, listen to what I'm telling you, Derek. I feel like Zoe Kravitz's performance as Catwoman is hands down the best movie performance of Catwoman without question.
Every time the new Catwoman comes out.
No, that's not true. They didn't say that for Halle Berry.
They said that.
They didn't say that for the other chick too, the Princess Diaries.
They didn't say about Anne Hathaway either.
People love Anne Hathaway. They love that white girl.
They didn't know. They didn't love it. Some people thought it was passable, but nobody was like, it's better than Michelle Pfeiffer. No one said that.
Yeah, like I just kept calling her Batgirl because she was just pretty much Batgirl.
Like Michelle Pfeiffer, for the most part, was the best movie Catwoman, which is the first movie Catwoman, right?
No, Yvette, whatever, the first white girl.
Yeah, Julie Newmar.
Oh my God, the first in this.
Oh, in the Batman movie, like the 1966 Batman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. I'll give you that. You're right. But I look. I think that she's the best movie friggin' Batwoman, and it might be worth going to go see the movie just to see her. I mean, I'm sorry, Catwoman, to see her Catwoman performance because.
Is she gonna show in the Arrowverse?
Say what?
Is she gonna show in the Arrowverse?
Listen.
Is there gonna be any other movie where she shows up in?
Derek.
Should
I listen. Listen.
I'll tell you when you watch the movie.
Derek, I'm not gonna address that comment. Jay, Moses, okay. How do you feel about Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman? Jay, let's start with you.
It was fine, I guess.
Okay,
there's nothing too bad about it, but
okay.
It wasn't stellar.
There it is. Hey, it wasn't stellar in comparison to which other movie Catwoman?
Not really. I wasn't really comparing it. Just like out of all the people in the movie, she's one of them. Like,
ho hum. Jay says, ho hum.
Would this movie have been better with Batfleck?
No.
Listen. I'm not gonna go that far. Like it could have been, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Like
I'm not a huge fan of Batfleck.
But I like it.
Ben Affleck was supposed to make this movie.
So he was.
I don't know how much of it was his ideas.
No. This movie is a completely different movie than what Batfleck or Ben Affleck would have made.
I don't think they threw everything out. I think they cut a script and maybe changed some stuff. But this has to be the same movie that Affleck.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's why
I want
to come out.
Look, Ben Affleck is not going to make a year 2 Batman movie.
That's what he said he was going to do.
Yeah,
he didn't say that.
Yeah, he did.
When did he say that?
When they announced that he was going to make that movie.
So he was supposed to be a young Batman?
Yeah. And then he quit because they brought in a second director, which was this dude,
Matt Reeves, right?
Yeah, and he had already written the script, and so I don't know how much of the script they kept here.
Listen, I'm gonna need y'all to show me that because I don't remember that being the case. And look, I don't have a great memory, so refresh it for me because I'm saying Ben Affleck writing and directing a Batman movie, like Ben Affleck,
he's good at that.
He can't be a young Batman. They were gonna they're gonna CG de-age him. What are they gonna do?
He'll be in the costume. Like
they
made him look buff, and he wasn't buff.
Yeah, does Pattinson look like he can beat up anybody? Did he look on the punch?
Yeah. Listen. Robert Pattinson did a fine job as Batman, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that he's a huge Batman, but Batman doesn't always look huge.
And Derek, you got to let us finish this review, man, because we got other shit to talk about.
I'm trying to figure out, what?
Derek, why don't you call back when you watch it?
I'll call back in 3 months after I see it on.
No, go right now. Go right now and watch it. You will still be on when you get out. Because at this rate, that's how we're going to get to the. We got 5 comics to review after this.
I'm trying to figure out how Derek disconnected Oz so he can come on the show.
I'll say something comic book related before I hang up. Then I like the new She-Hulk comic book. It's very good. That's all.
Cool. Oh, well, there it is. That's cool.
We'll review it next week, man.
Review that.
Yeah.
Review that.
Okay, cool.
Fantastic.
Appreciate you, Derek.
Hey.
I have
So
hung up.
okay, there it is. Okay, so Jay, meh. Moses, how'd you feel about Zoe
I love
Kravitz as
it.
Catwoman?
I love
Okay, thank you.
it.
I was about to say, I'm like, damn, I'm the only one that liked this.
This it took like the shit I liked from Darwin Cook's run on Catwoman, from Jeff Loeb's, Catwoman When in Rome,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the Long Halloween
Yeah.
and Dark Victory
Yep.
Catwoman stuff with Falcone. Like it took that
Yeah.
and
year one.
and year one. Yeah. Hold on.
We lost you for a second.
I don't know. I'm using a new camera. Well, not a new
Oh, it's
camera,
okay.
but a different camera, and it's
Yeah,
actually.
no problem.
But yeah, so it's like for me, it's fucking yeah. It was great, and her acting, like so, it's those influences for this characterization of Catwoman. All her dialogues from the Telltale game, which I love, and then they even have that scene where he tells her like, "You're leaving," and she goes, "Do you want me to stay?" Like even the amount of time for him to respond is the amount of time it takes you to hit the button yes or no in the Telltale game. It's exactly the same time of day, same camera angle, everything.
Yeah.
It's and and it kind of pisses me off, but I love it either way. And then but yeah, and then her acting is stellar. Like just that scene where she's just looking at Falcone like quietly.
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody saying anything. They're just hearing these noises, lights are turned off, and just that look on her face is like that's like that's that character. Like I don't see her as an actress playing that character.
Right. No, I agree with you 100%. Like I honestly felt like her portrayal, like it felt very much like she studied the character.
Yeah.
And like took like some of the best influences or the best iterations of the character and melded it all into her performance in this movie. Which I mean, dude, like it felt believable to me, which is and I guess that's the other thing. And I could understand what you were saying before, and some of what Derek was talking about, where it's like, maybe you don't want Batman to be as grounded as it was in this movie, because I do feel like this is like the new standard in regards to like a grounded Batman. It feels like, which is crazy because we all talked about the Nolan trilogy as being grounded, but in relation to like when you compare the two, it's like this is much more grounded. Like even like look, I had a one of my people that was talking to me about the movie was like, this fool's bat cycle looks like a regular motorcycle. Like, and he's like, it don't even look like a nice motorcycle. He was like, it looked like the motorcycle that some other, like, when you have a good bike and you look at the other person when they pull up next to you, you're like, oh, like you got the starter bike. Yeah. And I guess that's interesting.
The thing is, he uses it as a disguise. Yeah, like he just goes through the city in it, like inconspicuous.
Yeah.
And look, I love this grounded Batman like this. Like, I wish he stays this grounded like that. I love those stories, and I love that look, and I love the way the movie played out. Even if you get like an ungrounded villain, but have this grounded Batman, that'd be the dream for me, man. Like he's fighting this, like dark side, but he's this Batman and has to use his fucking, his gusto.
Pulling batarangs off his chest, like
yeah.
Take this. Damn it! I only have one left.
Like I want the villains to be like, more like the comics and stuff, but Batman being grounded like that to me would be awesome.
Okay, like it's an interesting take because it's one of these things where it's kind of like, and I said this before, where it felt like everybody's a little bit like of the version of themselves that they're working up to. Like I feel like obviously there's going to be a sequel because the movie did well enough. Like, well, I should say well enough. I mean, realistically speaking, as far as like pandemic releases go, because this is the tail end of the pandemic, but it's still in the pandemic. This is the second biggest movie that's come out in the course of pandemic, only behind Spider-Man No Way Home, right? So it's successful. So we knew, I'm sure a sequel was already planned anyway, but the sequel is going to come. And I say that not only because it's so big in the pandemic, but it performed really well. Like, I mean, it did, if I'm not mistaken, I think it did better than Batman Begins did in its opening weekend. It didn't do quite as good as Dark Knight and friggin' Batman Rises, but it's this happening again in the pandemic. So I think that by itself warrants a sequel at the very least.
It made so far 279 million. No,
worldwide.
Worldwide, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and I don't think it hasn't even released in China yet. So
yeah, and we can't count.
And
Russia.
it's not releasing. It's not going to release in Russia.
Well, yeah. I mean, everybody's basically boycotting Russia right now. So, but
Says it's got 2 spin-off shows too.
Right. They're gonna do.
Penguin show is coming.
Right. Which is the Penguin show? Is it about Penguin or is it? Okay. Like, because I was like, I knew one of the shows was supposed to be like a show about like the Gotham PD, right?
That I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. This is the first I hear about the 2 spin-off shows.
No. I mean, I know that we did a story about a Gotham PD show, and I wasn't certain if.
Oh, right.
That's the one.
Is that based on this? I thought that was based off of. I thought that was based off of the old show you Nia used to like.
No, come on, man.
Yeah.
Don't play me like Don't play me like that, Jay. No, it's based off of this. It's friggin'.
I'm not trying to play you. I was being.
You playing me. You know I didn't like that show, Joe. I'm gonna punch you in the face if I see you.
That's what you weren't listening. That's what I said. I said Nia.
Like you said, you and Nia.
No, I didn't say you. I said
I heard you.
This
is recorded, Joe. I'm gonna go listen to the recording and I'm gonna punch you in the face.
I specifically said Nia to not implicate you.
Nah. I heard you. Don't worry. You played me. It's okay.
I'm gonna get woken up at 11:15 tonight. Joe,
I choose. Look, I choose violence, Jay. I know what you did.
Right. Like, yeah, I was saying Nia. Like, I didn't. I wasn't trying to include you in that.
I remember he used to blame Nia for watching the show. He's like, "Oh,
that's what was the truth."
Yeah.
You know what? Whatever.
Yeah.
There's 2 shows. One is
Emily used to like watching Drag Race, and I had to be there to watch it.
Listen, I'm not here to comment on
what's your name.
What you do and don't like, Moses. You can watch whatever you want to watch.
That's what.
Anyway, what I'm saying to you is this: Jeremy Rush is.
So you know Jinx Monsoon?
No.
Okay. She was one of the winners on Drag Race.
Listen, Jay. Listen to the way he said that. Nah, that was yes. That was a yes, Jay.
No.
Listen. I know. you got to read between the lines, Jay.
Right.
You got to read between the legs. The truth is,
you got to read between the legs.
In any case, Jinx Monsoon is precious. She has a song, or they go by they. They have this song called "Cartoons and Vodka." Okay. Just amazing.
I'll be looking that up after the show. That sounds right up my alley. Cartoons and vodka. Yes. Yes, please. More. Anyway.
And it's awesome because the video is animated and it's got like a whole bunch of different styles and tributes and stuff. It's great.
Okay, cool. But what I'm trying to say is you got 2 shows, and I know one is the Gotham show, and I know there's a second show, and I know that people.
It's the Penguin show.
Okay, that's fair. I'm not mad at it, and that makes sense because you got like friggin' it's Colin Farrell which again ridiculously transformed in this. Like nobody like we know Colin Farrell's in this movie as Penguin, and then when you watch this fool do the performance, it's like, damn, who is that? They're doing a great job.
It's so weird because it's like I was mad because it's like, what, they can't get a fat ugly guy to be the Penguin? Like, I'm right here. Like, Colin Farrell's gotta have that, like, that role.
Right. Like
And-
there
So-
And
now
I
you
thought
know
that
how the
was like a handsome-
LGBTQ community feels.
Well, look, nobody stands up for fat ugly people. Like, we keep Charlize Theron played a monster. They uglied up fucking Nicole Kidman and Colin Farrell. All the beautiful people still get all the roles for the ugly people. Like,
Yeah,
nobody
like
gives
the
a fuck
ugly,
about
the ugly people, the fat ugly people need to act better.
Yeah, it's like they made Cyrano's nose all tiny.
And the actor tiny.
Yeah.
Speaking of Penguin, one of the things that was getting like annoying me just a tiny bit, like it's a nitpick and it's just me and I'm being dumb, but when it came to like the Penguin in the Iceberg Lounge, I was really missing the Art Deco style of the animated series, and like how he had the girls like that were like fight for him. Like I was like, man, I don't think you can translate that into a grounded Batman, and I kind of miss it.
Well, the thing is, even like, for example, everything else had the Art Deco look, although rustic, they still had the architecture there that was kind of like the cartoon, the black and the red, like the cartoon. And it's like it was just a regular ass warehouse with neon lights for the Iceberg Lounge. Like, at least have it be kind of like cold theme in there,
But I will say this though, I feel like
the proto Iceberg Lounge. Yeah, I get it.
No, really, like I feel like I do. I feel like in the sequel we're gonna see a more penguin-y Penguin, or right. That might happen in the TV show. So you see the transition in the TV show, and then it'll show up in the second movie. Same thing with friggin' Catwoman. Like I feel like she'll be more Catwoman-y.
Yeah,
in
like
the
she won't be
sequel.
wearing a beanie this time.
Right.
That would have been nice to at least have the hood, like the cat.
But I liked what she had though.
But right, that's what
I
I'm saying.
will
Like
say,
the beanie with the two little pointy ear things is kind of perfect.
One of the things I did love, if I could take it right back to Penguin for just a second, one of the things I did love is when they left him tied up and he got up and started running away. And he was like waddling like a penguin.
I love that.
Like that was great.
Yeah. And look, and when he was like I know Oz made fun of it earlier, but when he was talking about or correcting people's Spanish, I'm like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But that was great dialogue and a fun time.
Yeah. And like, performance, like the way he's like when he looked at him, like, do you really not habla español?
Right. It was so good. It was so good, man. And it was one of these things where I was just like, dude, like I understand like the point you make, Moses, is 100% valid, where you're like, dude, why are we getting pretty old Colin Farrell to play the Penguin? But at the same time, when you see him in the role, you're kind of like,
well, look, and my only beef was that I thought they were gonna give us a handsome Penguin. I didn't know they were doing this. I'm all good with this because guess what?
Yeah.
They hired me to be the Penguin. I'm gonna do what he did, but not as good. Like he did a Robert De Niro impression, and I would be like, yeah, and it's not gonna be as good. Yeah.
I think
absolutely.
you could pull off Danny DeVito.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Nah, I do better as Robert De Niro.
Yeah, man. And
we're running a little long.
Yeah,
you're right.
We've not got to the main. The main spectacle of this movie, which is the Riddler and the plot, the stories, the riddles, like the story, like what it comes down to. What is this about? My take is that I don't like this Riddler, but I love this Riddler story.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't have had it be about murder. I wouldn't have had it be about like revenge or anything. Like, I would have gone the money route.
Mm-hmm.
But the puzzles, I love the puzzles, how they were put together. Like the way everything, like, it was funny. One of the things I was thinking about was after the Nolan Batman, I said I wanted him to do Riddler next, and Mo was like, "No, it'll just be too much like Joker. Like, it'll be the same kind of like psychological thing." And it's like, nah, if you get the puzzles right, and this one showed me like they got the puzzles, they got the thinking, the digger got the detective work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they got this side of Batman, and not the character of the Riddler, but the spirit of the Riddler.
Mm-hmm.
They got pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Like, these puzzles, these riddles, when I'm thinking about them, and you know, they're giving you the answers, like after giving you time to, it's like, yeah, that's pretty good. And they don't give you everything. Like, you don't actually have a chance to like decode the cipher, which I wouldn't expect them to give you time to do that. But
I don't know, 3 hours. Maybe they should have.
But I do love that aspect of it. The story, the puzzles, the riddles, how he's like kind of chasing his tail at one point before he gets it. Like, they even do the whole luck thing where he figures out a clue because someone else is like, "Oh yeah, I used to be this in a former life." Like that is great. Yeah. And when it shows, because it's year 2 Batman, he's not the world's greatest detective yet, but he is smart. Like, it's like you've been saying, I could see him becoming the world's smartest detective.
Proto world's greatest detective.
Right. So that is one aspect of this movie that I absolutely loved. Like, I didn't like how whiny he was and that he was an orphan, but you know, and how he kept going manic, like he was trying to kind of do a Joker-ish type thing. But the spirit of, like, I didn't like the particulars, but I like the spirit.
Yeah. And it's an interesting thing where, like, don't get me wrong, like, I think a big part of all of us being skeptical about this Riddler was like the attire. Like, why are you wearing all this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like this mask and this like outfit, and and it's like, I get that, like, it, having seen the movie now, it doesn't feel like necessarily the question mark like suit or leotard would be appropriate. I'll give you that. And I also get that to a degree
they're like doing a Joker thing.
Wait, what?
They were kind of mimicking Joker, like, because basically they were doing Joker and his Jokers.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want to get into the specifics.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying not to, but
yeah.
You have you have Joker, and then you have the gang, the Jokers.
Yeah.
That's kind of like him rallying. Like, that's why he was supposed to be faceless.
Is the villain as a movement thing?
Yeah, anyone could be him, and in the end, everyone was him.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is, and I feel where you're coming from with that. You're right, but I guess, like, in a way though, like, the Joker does that, but the Joker wears makeup. And when the other people mimic that, it's not like they all have to look like him exactly.
No, they get the clown face, so
and yeah, right. But what I'm saying is, technically,
like, they're all Jokers. Right.
But you could have technically done that with a domino mask.
It wouldn't have
kind of like,
but he doesn't look as menacing.
No, don't get me wrong, please. Like, I would have loved the domino mask.
Yeah,
like,
and I know that,
and I make it bigger to, like,
cover more of his face.
Pretend,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
man, Domino Mask. I still would have hated the whining and the going manic, but man, Domino Mask would have been great.
Yeah. And I guess
would have been awesome.
That would be cool.
Like killing for money. Like I
don't feel like Riddler does it for the money though.
Well, there was the one episode in the animated series called "If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich?"
Right,
where
I remember that.
He had an idea and people stole his idea and got rich. So he was after killing them because they basically he wasn't getting money from it, but killing the people that stopped him from being rich.
Right.
Like if they had done something like that, I would have enjoyed it more.
I hear that. Also, we should acknowledge Derek H's comment real quick. He says the question is the world's greatest detective, which
yes, they are.
Well, no, the question to me is just QAnon, but not racist.
Listen, I think that both of those statements are correct. Like the question, I do think the question is to a degree the world's greatest detective. I also think that the question to a degree is QAnon, but not racist. Because you're right, like it is a little bit of both, where like the question is particular about their conspiracy theories. So that's interesting. But anyway, what I will say is that it does feel like the story they were trying to tell in this Batman movie, like this Riddler, like I wanted a traditional Riddler, but the Riddler I got, I enjoyed much more than I would have anticipated. And I think you're right. Like the spirit of the Riddler is definitely in this movie, even though the Riddler doesn't have the look. And again, maybe like
just
I would not
mark on the forehead would have been nice.
No,
I don't like that he's an orphan. Like,
what does it matter?
I don't know why,
his origin.
but I don't know why. But one of the retcons that really resonated with me is that Riddler's father like beat the shit out of him for lying, and that's why he like turned to riddles, where it's like he's telling the truth. You just have to figure it out before what goes down.
Yeah,
like I don't know why that resonated with me so much, but it really did.
No, that's a cool thing.
Appreciate that.
I mean, obviously, Riddler being an orphan is more, and minor spoilers here, but it's about them making the juxtapositioning of the Riddler and the Batman, and them saying like these two people are much more alike than the Batman and you as an audience member would prefer to accept. It's like you have this one person over here that you think is the hero, and you have this other person over here that you think is the villain. But when you really break it down, you're like, they're kind of the same guy to a degree. It's just more about what their focus is.
Right.
But you don't need that though.
Now, when you say you don't need that, what do you mean?
Like, you don't need that juxtaposition in a sense. I mean, in this story, you kind of do, but you don't need that for the Riddler. Like, you could have had a whole other character. You could have really just made this a new character.
You could have. And I agree with you. Like, if they made it a new character, I wouldn't have liked the movie less. I would have been like, oh, that should have been the Riddler. I wouldn't have felt that at all. Well, no, that's not true. Because obviously the dude is doing a whole bunch of riddles.
Yeah.
Then I would be like, well, that's the Riddler's shtick. So why didn't they use the Riddler? So I'm actually lying. I would have asked that question. But
Well, Cluemaster did stuff like that too.
Right, but I guess technically
Riddler's more known for it.
Right. And Cluemaster, I guess to a degree, I would have been like, oh, this would have made me feel like I maybe would have felt, but I don't know. I don't know that I would have felt less away about it, because Master doesn't act like the character in this movie either. Like the character acts to a degree like an edgy Riddler, which is something we see in the comics. He just doesn't look like Riddler, or he doesn't look like Riddler in the costume. When he's out the costume, he absolutely looks like Riddler.
His hair could have been redder.
I mean, Jay, really though? Like, is that what we're gonna go with? Like, we're gonna talk about shades of red?
You know, Paul Dano would have been
It bugged me a little bit. Like, you could just,
so this
like,
if this fool had a
cheap.
if he had a bowler hat with a question mark on it, you'd be like, well, what about his red hair? Why isn't his hair red enough? Is that what you would have said?
If you give me enough for one thing, like, then it's easier to forgive the others. Like, if you had the bowler hat and the domino mask, yeah, you can have that little off red hair, right?
Okay. I'm just making sure that we're still on the same place. We're in the same place. We're like, okay. So, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But we should start wrapping up. We do have 5 comics to talk about.
Moses Magnum.
Although I'm only going to be talking about 3 of them.
And I'm
Moses
talking
Magnum.
about 12 of them.
You're gonna talk about how many? 12?
All 12.
You're hilarious. The most talk about future issues that haven't released yet.
They get a 5. They get a 5.
Look, Moses Magnum, tell the people what you would rate the Batman.
It's a 5, man. It's the best Batman movie for me. I like
Wow.
it. Look, definitely better than any of the Snyder shit. And
well, yeah.
I even like it better than Nolan. Like the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nolan took stuff from comics that I liked, and then did his thing his way. Whereas this, like, they took the color palette. Like, I like Francisco Francavilla's Batman stories. Guess what? All movies is fucking color palette.
Yeah.
the fucking boots are the boots he drew for him. You know,
Yeah.
the Catwoman is like his style, like grounded Norse shit. Like, it wears its influences. It shows you its influences, and it respects the influences. Whereas Nolan's like, I don't like superheroes, but he doesn't like superheroes in the same way that, you know, Warren Ellis or Mark Millar doesn't like superheroes. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that, fuck Nolan. I've said it before, and now I have a real reason to say it, you know. And then it felt like the very first Batman movie that I ever saw. Like, wow, and it's still like, you know, it just felt like watching that all over again. So yeah, for me, this is 5 out of 6. This is 8 out of 5. Yeah.
Dang. Wow. Okay. Jay, what did you think of the Batman?
Overall, I liked it. I did have a couple of nitpicks and a couple of pinings, and I wanted a better Riddler, but a lot of the spirit was there. That car chase didn't need to be there. Like, that was a little boring to me.
But it was great to watch Batman through the fire walking upside down with that theme playing. That was a good splash page, a cinematic splash page, man.
Yeah.
So what would you rate it, Jay?
I would give it a 4. Like, overall, I really liked it, but there are a bunch of nitpicks I have. Nitpicks and pinings.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I know for me, I'd give it 4.5 out of 5. It's so good. And well, I mean, honestly, the thing that keeps it from being a 5 for me is
I know what it is. I know what it is.
What?
It's the fact that Catwoman didn't hear his motorcycle at the end.
You're hilarious.
She's like, "No, don't you don't say hi first?" And then his motorcycle's right there. Like, he rode it up to like 3 feet away from her, and she didn't hear it. That's what that's what he took away the 0.5, isn't it?
He had the bat cycle delivered. He had it airdropped, right? No. I mean, honestly, the only thing that for me where I'm like, I can't give it a 5 is the Bruce Wayne thing. Like, I don't like
it's pro
that portrayal, but it's not though.
Yeah,
and that's the whole thing where it's like, and don't get me wrong, like I don't have any issue with Bruce Wayne being emo in private. It's more about like what Bruce Wayne acts like in public, and I'm not saying that he has to be billionaire playboy, but I don't know that he can be like the dude he is in the cave with Alfred in public. And that's what he basically did in this movie. You don't get a lot of it, and that's why it's only a look. Honestly, I'll go as high as 0.75 because that's the only thing wrong with this movie for me personally. And that's the thing. Like I went into this movie fully expecting to like not think so highly of it. It wasn't like I was like thinking it was gonna be terrible, but as much as I liked it on the other end, I was like, oh wow. Like I mean, there's things to nitpick, but overall, man, it's an amazing portrayal, and mostly because of the things that Mo was talking about, where it was just like
the motorcycle.
The fact that it wears its influences, its comic influences on its sleeve in regards to like things like year one influences and like things like we mentioned like you could tell somebody read The Long Halloween, you know what I'm saying, that somebody read like the sequels look like they're gonna be a mix of like or I guess I should say like you have a little bit of like Zack Snyder's like 0 year stuff in regards to like the ending, and then the sequel feels like it might be like more of a No Man's Land kind of influence, and I'm just like, dude, like
I did enjoy that.
Yeah, so that's a cool thing where it's just like, oh wow, okay, and just the fact that you could in a movie seamlessly like merge those, that's good stuff.
It's gonna be awesome to have Huntress and Cassandra Cain in the sequel.
So
as you
we'll
said,
see how it all goes.
You can see the No Man's Land influence. So
I can see
and Lex Luthor's gonna be in it. Man, Larry, man, you got me hyped.
Look,
for confirmed. Real, Lex Luthor confirmed. No.
If they're going that far, they might as well have Young Justice in it, and they're not going to do that.
Look, they're going to do it. Larry said they're going to do it.
What do you think all that water is for?
Yeah.
Aqualad.
Yeah.
Aqualad. He wasn't in Young Justice during No Man's Land.
Oh, listen, obviously you're not watching the cartoon I'm watching.
This is where they take liberty. You expect this to be like the comic? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, No Man's Land, the comic, it was just that was Superboy, Robin, and Impulse.
And Aqualad, we got it.
I'm in.
Actually, it was he wasn't part of the team, but they teamed up with it wasn't Aqualad, it was another underwater guy. Forgot what his name is.
Aquaman.
No.
Look, Jay, listen. Nobody wants to hear any names other than Aquaman and Aqualad. That's it. And it better be the black Aqualad.
With blonde hair.
No, he was green.
Right. Oh, see. Okay. Look, should I take him off the stream? He can come back if I do, right? No.
I'm sorry I read the comic.
Yeah, man. We are too.
It's going to be awesome in the sequel when Kid Lobo's in it.
Kid Lobo.
Was he in No Man's Land?
He was just in that one issue of of Young Justice.
Well, not like that, but like.
Let's talk about Dark Knights of Steel.
Now, I read the trade, or it's not a trade; it's a collection of 1 through 3 called Awakening or something Fire. So I didn't read the individual issues.
Is it Awakening or something Fire? Like
Awakening something in the fire.
I can look it up.
Okay, you should look that up. In the meantime, we're talking about friggin', like I said, Dark Knights of Steel. It is a series from DC Comics.
The Gathering Storm.
That's neither one of what you said.
Yeah, but it's the same feeling. Like arriving, gathering.
No, it's not.
You gather once you arrive.
On fire.
Oh man. Okay.
No fire, but a storm. Storms are rough
coming
like
in fire.
fire.
So the book is written by Tom Taylor. It's art primarily by Yasmine Putri, I think is how you say the name.
That sounds
I
about
feel
right.
bad because, huh?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I think it's Putri, but
We know
I've
your
only
track
seen it.
record with this.
I've only seen it in print. So Yasmine, if I'm saying either one of your names wrong, please forgive me because you're super talented. So no, look, I mean no disrespect. I should have done more homework. But yeah, it's right now. Issue 5 is the latest issue. It's a 12 issue mini or maxi series, I guess. Um, Jay, you read issues 1 through 3. How did you feel
Yes.
about Dark Knights of Steel?
Oh man, there were so many shocking moments. I was like, man, like, oh my god, like all this shit happened, and I was like, my god, like I couldn't even believe some of it.
So there'll be some spoilers if you haven't read the books, but at the same time, the joint started like
Yeah,
last year, so
and it's only half
and there's
done.
gonna it's not even half done because like I said, it's 12 issues and only, issue 5 is only one out, so you're gonna have to listen if you're listening, and you're gonna get some spoilers, but I will tell you 100% like the journey is worth taking, even if you get some plot points spoiled for you. So Jay, what are some things that you saw that you were just like, whoa, like I can't believe that happened?
Well, I think the first one was Jor-El dying with the
Gotcha.
arrow through the eye, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
And that
then
happens like literally at the issue of the end of issue 1.
yeah, and it's like,
Is it really
and,
issue at the end?
Yeah, it's the end
I
of
don't
issue
know.
1.
It felt like
That's
it was like issue 3. Like,
no,
I
dude.
read
That
it
is
as one book, so
literally the end of issue 1.
yeah. And then Diana and I can't remember her name. Zala.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they have a thing going on. Like they kissed, and I
yeah.
was like, oh shit. I'm like, man, I was just shocked.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Zala is a badass. Like I like her. She's
Mhm.
pretty damn cool. Like
Yeah.
you go murdering princes, like
And
man, like
and
she's so casual about it too. It's like just
and
toss.
just
Like, you
real
don't
quick,
see the body though. That sucked. Like I hope
Jay always wants more carnage.
I love Carnage.
You do. You do. Real quick, for those, I apologize because there are people that I'm like, okay, we're talking about this book like you've read it, but for those that haven't read it, Dark Knights of Steel is, like I said, an Elseworlds type story, but it takes the characters from the DC universe and puts them in a high fantasy kind of setting. So, kind of imagine, for lack of a better term, it's like, or it's basically DC meets D&D. Let's say it like that.
I was gonna say
And
Game of
so
Thrones, but yeah.
you can say Game of Thrones, you can say Lord of the Rings, like however way you want to go with it. But yeah, you're right. Like a Game of Thrones is a good analogy. DC meets Game of Thrones. That very much feels like what's happening in the book. And one of the twists that does happen in this book is, you start off in like literally the very beginning of issue 1 is Superman's parents. Basically, Krypton is getting ready to explode, and you see the rocket shoot off of Krypton, and of course, you have the rocket land, and you go ahead and are like, okay, well, this is going to be Kal-El getting found in this medieval-esque kind of setting. But when the rocket opens up, you literally have both of his parents and Kal-El in this rocket.
Well,
And
Kal-El's
so,
he's like,
oh, right. I'm sorry, you're right. You literally have the parents with Kal-El being born, right? And so it's like, so that by itself is a whole different twist on the whole Superman mythos because it's like his whole family basically getting sent to Earth, and it's a medieval setting, so that's a whole nother twist again. And because you have both of his parents there, Jay mentioned Zala, which I know people are like, or some people might be like, who is Zala? And that's actually their second child, which is, for all intents and purposes, like the Supergirl of this universe. But it's their second kid as opposed to like Clark's cousin. So, or Kal-El's cousin, however you want to say it. So yeah. So I just wanted to mention that because we're referencing characters that don't exist. Except in this series. But yeah, so Jay, yeah, okay, I hear what you're saying. Moses Magnum, what are your thoughts on? And I know you said you read 1 through 5.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Dark Knights of Steel?
Dude, it's an interesting storytelling. It's an interesting retelling and reimagining of this DC universe, and in a different genre essentially. And it's always interesting to see, like, you had your Samurai Batman cartoon and shit like that, and here you kind of have that but done well. And
wow, take that, Samurai Batman.
I didn't like that. Like, it was dumb, but anyway, but this was good, and the art is great. Like,
dude,
the way this book is put together, right, it's 32 pages per issue at $3.99. Like, that's a Mo deal in and of itself, right there. And,
right,
because it's like usually $3.99 for you get 22 pages on a book for $3.99, and here you got that. That's why it felt like when they told me about Jor-El, it's like issue 1. It's like that felt like issue 2 or some shit. But there's a lot of story in issue 1. Like, you get, I think there's 3 or 4 plots going on at the same time. So
I will say real quick, the Gathering Storm would kind of be like a Mo deal because that one is only like $6.99.
Oh, jeez, what? But digitally, not physically.
I don't know about physical. I assume it's the same.
Oh, that'd be crazy. I can't even imagine.
It's still a Mo deal.
Yeah,
no,
like
that's what I'm saying. It is a Mo deal.
No, $7 for those 3 issues is crazy. Okay, but continue, Moses. I'm sorry.
Here we go.
More money, more money, more money, more.
That's a Mo deal.
Dollar.
Yeah, so the art's really like, I love it. And even the stuff that I don't like in comic art sometimes, which is let's see here, share screen, is they do the voice with whatchamacallit, with the mouth closed, but the art does a really good job right here. For example, like the expressions add enough. You don't need the mouth open. Like, this right here is something that would mess with me in any other book, because any other book would just have them have static faces, but here you feel their emotion, and there's
100%.
Wrong one,
dude. What? Oh, I'm like, don't do that. Don't put that in there.
Like, well, like the expressions, like the way they characterize Poison Ivy in here fits her kind of stoic, but with Harley Quinn in a different, here's another example too. The expressions on the face really do a lot of the work. You don't need, you can have the mouth closed and have a word bubble. If for me, I'll allow it in this scenario because of it. But yeah, and it's just like, that's just an example that I pulled from it in what I liked about the art. But as you can see, the colors are on point. the faces, the figures and backgrounds. That's like, those 2 pages kind of encapsulate everything about the art. There's redesigns of characters too. I know we're running a little late, so I want to rush through all my good points. And as far as bad points go, like, I have none. So that's it. 5 out of 5 for this. Issue 6 through 12. Guess what? That's gonna be another 5 out of 5. I don't even have to do a Fantastic Four 1-shot for it. But you need to subscribe, like, and hit the bell in case I do it for something else.
No, I will say 100%. Like,
to add on to what you were saying, the art is really good. Like,
dude, so good.
Almost like paintings. and like it's realistic, not like too realistic, but it's got like a real tint to it, and it just looks great. It looks like artwork, like you would frame.
Right, like those shadows in that. Yeah, I can't bring up the page anymore, but for example, where they're in the forest, so
I can't find my digital content library. Otherwise, I would bring up examples of what I'm talking about. Like, I think because if you see that arrow going through the eye, like, I know if I saw that, that would convince me to buy it. Like, if I hadn't already, like that would definitely convince me.
That scene when Harley goes into the forest, they're under the cover of trees, so there's like sun rays hitting, and you see like you can see a leaf casting a shadow on their face, and it's like not a hard shadow that like an inker would just be like, oh, I gotta put this book out real quick. It's like it's gradient and you know it's a color shade, not a hard black. It's just it's beautiful art, and I'm so glad I read it digitally because on that iPad Pro screen, man, on high brightness, it's like high def comics, dude.
I will say again, like I feel like Purdy's art is so fantastic that issue 4 is actually not done by her. And as soon as I opened it, I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
I was like, what happened? and the art's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's just not her.
It's more standard superhero art.
I mean, it's like it honestly, and you know what this series invokes for me is like some of the best of like Elseworlds. And the artist that does 4 felt very much like the kind of artist you would see when you see some Elseworlds stuff. And it would be perfectly serviceable. Like it would be good art for Elseworlds back in the day when that was like a regular thing. But because they gave me Yasmine, it's like for 3 issues, when issue 4 came, I was like, what happened? What's going on? And then issue 5 came and Yasmine was back. I'm like, okay, cool. Hey, hey, I'm not here to, Yasmine is obviously in demand because Yasmine does amazing art. So I'm not mad at it. I was just concerned because I was like, are we changing artists? Because I need someone to let me know that like right now. Because, oh, there you go. Look at that, man. Like, and again, like when you talk about the expression is like, look at like what he looks like getting shot in the eye. You know what I'm saying? Look at Bruce's friggin' like expression of anger right there. You know what I'm saying? And the like Mo mentioned earlier too, the character design and what I can say with you with 100% like accuracy, with 100% like if they decided to make like I know that right now McFarlane is doing like basically all like the DC toys.
Yeah.
If they decided to do a line of Dark Knights of Steel, is like sign me up for every figure. I don't care. Like it can be random people on the side. Like it could be like literally like NPCs. Like I don't care. I just want every Dark Knights of Steel universe figure.
Like, it would be perfect time because I just got approved for a new credit card.
There you go. I want them all because the character designs are amazing and everybody like it's insane because people are done in high fantasy redesigns, but everyone looks exactly like how there's like the spirit of every character is there. It's like
I knew Black Lightning. I knew that Black Lightning was Black Lightning.
Right, exactly.
And they only show you from here up, like most of it. They never show you him as Black Lightning because that's not the hero Black Lightning.
Everybody looks and feels exactly like they're supposed to look and feel, and you know exactly who they are, and it does like without fail, which is crazy. It's just like and I'm just like I love it. The designs are so good. The story is amazing. I'm right here with Moses, 5 out of 5. What, like, come on now, like I'm giving 1 through 5. Well, I'm gonna give issue 1 a 5. I'm gonna give issue 2 5.5, issue 3 5.75, like all of like, and then issues like 6 through 12 get like 11D because it's an amazing series. Jay, why don't you rate it so that we can go home?
I would give it a 5. Like, I see nothing wrong with this book. Like,
the only thing that wrong with it is that they had another. Oh, the Robins are so good. Like, and that's another thing too. Like, all the Robins feel like exactly like the Robins they're supposed to be, and they all have, to a degree, a uniform kind of look, but also a individual look.
Like the little augmented style, like just in little parts of their costume. Like
Dick Grayson is a Robin, but still invokes Nightwing.
Yeah,
that's insane. That's insane. Like, it's just like, dude, like there are people making friggin' like comic books about Dick Grayson that can't do that. Can't do that. And this fool is like, this is like a friggin', I won't say a throwaway character, but like he's not even like a main supporting character. He's like the fact that Dick Grayson is like 3rd, 4th tier character in this book and still amazing and still feels every bit like what Dick Grayson is supposed to feel like is a testament to how good this book is. I'm done. I'm finished with this show. So yeah, okay. I guess we should do some final thoughts. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm like, how dare we take so much time on the Batman to not get enough time on the, and where did Oz go? Oz was supposed to, like, Oz DC.
He had to go to work. He had to go to work. Remember last week he said he was only going to be here for an hour.
Oz should quit that job so he can talk about the Dark Knights of Steel.
He's got like 3 mortgages, right?
Man, listen. Oz could get money from someplace else. Jay, why don't you give me some? Oh, okay.
Look, there you go.
Jay unlocks his achievement. I know. Jay, why don't you? Oh wait, is the final thoughts music playing?
Yeah.
Okay, give us a final thought, Jay.
So it seems like white people are being, like, there are some white people out there being stupid and privileged again. They're giving Turning Red a whole lot of hate because they can't relate to it because the characters are Asian and just all kinds of stupid nonsense bullshit. And for just like, if your main beef with the movie is that there aren't enough white people, you can just fuck the hall right off. Like, fuck all the way off.
There it is. Moses Magnum, final thoughts.
I don't know why Joe looked at me when he said that, but I'll allow it. I gotta check my privilege. I was supposed to wear a new Fantastic Forum merch shirt so that you can be inclined to buy it, but I didn't. Instead, I wore this snazzy shirt. And but go click fantasticforum.live. There's a button for the merch. Go ahead and buy that so that Larry doesn't have to look for a job.
Please do. Please do. For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate all the support you do give us. Please interact with us. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you want us to talk about, or what you want to hear about, and what else you want to see. And if you've gotten to this point in the show, you are probably the people that our parents are warning us about, and we appreciate you. We're the Fantastic Forum. Good night.